guys, this is me Ezra and welcome back to another video. In this video we are going to be talking about what you can do after creating your petition paper. If you do not know what a petition paper is, how to make it, and so on, I highly suggest that you do watch my video, which you can click up there in order to watch it, where you pretty much learn, all of that and more. For you to understand this video, all you need to know is how to make a petition paper, what it is, and probably even have a petition paper already made. This video is to know what to do after you have created it. Now, of course, I should say that, as I stated in my video, I highly suggest that you follow your intuition. So if the methods that I am talking about right here is something that really doesn't feel right, or something that your intuition or your gut or whatever you want to call it tells you that you shouldn't do in order to get the best results, then by all means do not do them. This is just me giving you many options so that you know what you could do in order to manifest whatever you want. That being said, I also recommend for you to do with it what you feel corresponds to your intention, meaning that if you feel like burning it will not bring you the best results, of course do something else. If you want to banish, you can burn it. If you want to do something to attract or to protect or something like that, you may not want to burn it. All of that is also an option, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. After you have completed your petition paper, there are many things that you can do with it, as I stated before. And amongst the many, first I'm going to talk about the things that I normally do. But as I stated, I follow my intuition, meaning that if my intuition is telling me not to do what I normally do, then I would just not do it because it is not what feels right for me to do in the moment. So that being said, what I normally do after I have created a petition paper is that, first let me show you the ones that I have. And yes, these are new ones because this is actually like the third time that I make the video and I kind of destroyed the papers. So yeah, I'm gonna recycle them, so it's fine. These are the petitions that I have. These two are literally the same thing. This one is just, being encircled by a ring that pretty much has a sentence or just a statement that pretty much aligns with my intention. Therefore, this is an option that you can do, but honestly I talk about it in my video, so I'm not gonna get too much into it. And I have another one which is the same as this one, but actually a different intention. The intention behind this one is to get John Doe to pretty much be kinder to Osiris Lopez. This is actually something to bring. These two are to banish, to get rid of something. And this one would be negative people from my life. To begin, I'm actually going to use this one, which is the one to attract. So what I normally do when it comes to petitions is that I would literally read what it is that I wrote in the paper. So the way that I would do it, if I say the name of the target, then I would state my name and then I would read what I wrote in the petition, like basically my statement, whatever I want to happen between these two people. So what I would do is say, John Doe, I am Osiris Lopez. I want you to be kinder to me, or something like that. Honestly, just let your gut or your intuition, or just literally just state whatever it is that you're feeling in the moment. I recommend to literally say exactly what it is that you wrote in the paper, but it's not really something that I feel that's really necessary, although it is what I recommend. After I read it, I would, because this is for attracting something, I would fold the paper towards me, then I would go clockwise because this is the direction of attraction as well. Then I would fold it. Now, I normally do it 3 times, but it doesn't really matter. It's just an example. So after I have folded and turned the paper, what I would do is draw a sigil on top. It can be any sigil that again corresponds to your intention, which I also have a video about how to make sigils, which you can watch up there as well. So let me just draw like a little doodle or something. After I have drawn my sigil, I would charge it. Now, how do I charge the petition? Really simple as well. I would literally put my hand over or tap or like on the paper. It doesn't really matter. It really depends on you and how you want to do it. And so I would literally pray over it. So I would say something along the lines of sigil, I charge and activate you so that you may bring the desired results. that being John Doe and I get along. I want John Doe to be kinder to me, may stop thinking bad things about me, may stop saying bad things about me, may stop being so hostile towards me, and so on and so forth. So after I finish praying over the sigil, I would seal it. So the way that I would seal it, honestly, is by doing a little incantation with like a few hand movements. And the way that I would do it, or at least the way that I used to do it, because now I have an incantation that's like longer. It's a little bit longer and like a little bit like changed, but you know, it doesn't really hurt to just share the old one. So what I would do is literally draw a pentacle and then, you know, say the incantation. So I would say, in love and light, both day and night, may it run, may it be done, blessed be, so would it be. As I do this, I would literally visualize the pentacle glowing, you know, and the color that pretty much represents your intention. Though you can just visualize like a flaming pentacle, haha, or you know, pretty much anything that you would like to visualize. But in this case, it's the pentacle and the glow or whatever. It's whatever you want it to be. It can even be just white. So as you do this, the pentacle is literally going up, and as you push down, the pentacle is literally wrapping itself on the petition. Therefore, it is sealed. This is what you want. What you wrote here is like kind of like with the petition that I made in the petition video that has like a signature. This is kind of like that, but rather than actually signing the petition, you're pretty much like doing it like symbolically and energetically. So after you have done that, the petition itself is completely done. You can choose to pray over the petition again. You can choose to do whatever you want with it. You can choose to kiss it or whatever. But overall, this is what you could do. After you have done this, you can literally just place it in a spell or use it in a spell. You can place it in a mojo bag. You can place it in a spell jar. You can keep it under your pillow, under your bed, if it is that guy or that person actually comes into your bed. Though typically, when you put things under or under your bed or anything that has to do with like where bodies are put, it is typically from what I've noticed done when you want to have something either sexual or have them think of you. In this case, I would put it let's assume that this person is my roommate. I would put it under their bed or on their pillow, or in their pillow should I say, because I want them to pretty much think of me. But you obviously go through the risk of, you know, them finding out and be like, oh, so you do with that what you will. Obviously think about what you're gonna do and how it could go wrong and so many other things. I suggest to just simply put it in a mojo bag with other herbs and stuff like that, and simply just work with the mojo bag or simply the spell jar. You can add honey, you can add other things that align with your intention, and so on. And there you have how to use a very simple petition paper. Now for the other methods, I'm going to explain them right now. So let's say that you don't want to fold your petition. That is perfectly fine. So what you could do is anoint the petition with oil, any essential oil, any special oil, like I don't know, in this case it would be something along the lines of maybe banishing oil, leave me alone oil, if that's a thing, or whatever it is that you want to put on it that is an oil. If you do not want to use oil, you can use moon water, which I also have a video about that you can watch up there. And by up there I mean clicking it after watching this video and then, you know, learning how to make it. You can add moon water and herbs or whatever. After you have done that, you can place it on your altar and continuously work with it. Let's say that you want to actually maybe not fold, but you want to turn it into a little pouch or like an envelope or whatever. So you could literally put everything there. Obviously the paper would have to be a little bit bigger, and you could put everything there, and then you could literally just like wrap it and then like twist it, you know, and just keep it like that with its contents. Obviously you would want to work with it, you know, continuously, though you don't really need to if you feel like you shouldn't. but that is an option. Now, ways on how you can work with your petition when putting it on your altar is by literally praying over it, by reading it, or simply by just leaving it there and acknowledging that it's there, and from time to time pray so that the petition actually comes into fruition. Though usually you don't really need to, or at least when it comes to prayer papers being literally being prayers that you literally write. It can either be a personal prayer, so for example it can be dear God blah 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 blah, or simply have a Bible verse and put it there, or any verse from a sacred book, but again that is for you to decide whether or not you want to do that. You can also place a crystal on top of the petition and just program the petition to actually manifest what is on the petition. You would program it by literally telling it what you wanted to do, kind of like activating the sigil, so, or programming or charging or whatever the sigil. So you can, let's assume that this is the crystal. You can say something along the lines of, crystal, I charge and activate you so that you may bring my desired results. May you rid these people from my life. May you give power to the petition to bring about change, blah 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 blah. Then you can just end it by so would it be, or by doing what I said when it comes to sealing the sigil, which is in love and life, but day and night, and harm none, may it be done, blessed be, so would it be. Yeah, so you can do that. And when it comes to, you know, stuff that has to do with banishing, pushing away, something that you want to get rid of from your life or from someone's life or whatever, instead of folding towards you and folding clockwise, you would turn anti-clockwise and fold away. So it would literally be like this, and then you would turn, do it like this, and yada yada. The same rules apply. You can draw the sigil, you can pray over it, you can then seal it, and bada bing bada boom, you can choose to kiss it after if you wish to, and you know, work with it in the same ways that I said here. Though obviously you would want to not use honey, you would want to use something else. So for example, you could use salt because it is a purifier. It is something that you use for cleansing. You can use herbs that have to do with like banishing, or simply just purification, cleansing, you know, stuff like that, amongst the many other things that you can add. Let's say that the petition that you want to make is already folded, right? There are many things that you can do. You can put it under the candle. Obviously you would want to have a paper that is not as wrinkled and put it somewhere where the candle is properly balanced, you know, because this is a little lumpy. But yeah, that is an option. If you do not feel comfortable putting it under the candle, you can put it under the plate or whatever it is that the candle is put on top of. You can also put it next to it. You can just put it anywhere near the candle. Some people choose to burn the petition and then put it somewhere that is, you know, appropriate, where your house will not basically, you know, caught on fire. You can also hide your petition. This would be because you do not want people to pretty much going through your stuff and read your stuff, and you know, like, you do not want prying eyes, because they may pretty much think you're hella crazy, like, what the hell are you doing, like devil worship, blah blah blah, and we all know that that's not the case, but you know, not everybody understands, so might as well just hide it. But this is also an option. You don't really need to do this. And as I stated, you can also keep it somewhere that correspond to your intentions. So for example, if you were to keep it under your bed, let's say that you would use this one. Let's assume that Osiris and John Doe are a couple. Let's assume that they want a little bit of, I don't know, flame in their life. Let's assume that we did the sigil, you know, about love and lust and this and that, and the statement is something along the lines of love me, make out with me, be lustful towards me, whatever. Then what you can do is put the petition paper under your bed, which is somewhere that you both sleep. You can also put it in your underwear drawer if you have one, or let's assume that the petition that you made is for protection. So what you could do is write your petition on the first page of your grimoire. So it could be there, it could be, well, I'm not going to show you the page because this is actually personal and this isn't even my grimoire, but yeah, you could draw it even there or wherever. The point is that personally I recommend the first page page because, you know, it is the page that is going to pretty much like symbolically be the shield that is going to protect the rest of the pages. So yes, you can also write it on the page, and also might I also add, you do not need to write your petitions solely on ripped paper. You can also write them on a notebook in order to, you know, not having to go through all the trouble of cutting the pages and, you know, all of that. If you want to make a petition in order to be protective towards your grimoire, your book of shadows or whatever, you can do this. If you want to write your petition on a candle, you can literally write on the candle and burn the candle. Optionally, what you can also do is a method that involves either folding or rolling. So let's say in this case, I want to push these people away from my life. So what I would do is literally roll the petition away from me, right? So what I could do is literally tie maybe, I don't know, a red thread. Black would be more appropriate, but if you don't have anything else, you can use whatever color you want. So what you could do is literally just like wrap the petition with the thread, and then you would tie it. Maybe you could whisper something into the knot. So for example, leave me alone. Maybe you could do it again, maybe you could tie as many knots as you want to, or whatever. Honestly, it really should be something that feels right to you. You can say maybe an incantation, a rhyme, a chant, something. This is when you can pretty much put it in a jar, in another mojo bag, or whatever it is that you want to pretty much work with. You can also, let's assume that, you know, we are going to use this one, you know, this one is for love. When it comes to folding, this is when I would personally recommend that you make it a little bit smaller, and you would need, you know, more than just one thread. So what you would do is literally, let me just make it a little bit smaller. What I would do is literally, I highly suggest that you experiment, because, you know, that is how you're going to know what works best for you. After you have the first knot, you can then tie it instead of this way, that way. So this would be it. So this is how it is supposed to look like. Obviously, you know, you can cut this if you want to. Maybe you can anoint this with something. It can be either any oil, it can be moon water, it can be a little bit of honey if you want to, and stuff like that. You can actually even burn this, but of course, fire safety. Do not burn something and not know where to throw it. And if you do have somewhere to throw it, make sure that it is able to hold fire, because you do not want to put paper or anything that is burning somewhere that's pretty much flammable, or something that will shatter the container or whatever it is that you are using in order to hold fire. Overall, that is pretty much everything that I could think of that you can do with your petition paper. And yes, I really hope that this video was extremely useful. I hope that you learned something new. If you did, please let me know in the comment section below. And what other methods do you actually recommend when it comes to after you have made your petition? What have been your experiences when working with petitions? Like, let me know in the comment section. I would love to read it. And yes, if you guys liked it, be sure to leave a like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll just see you guys later.
Made me feel so much better.